Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ears to the East, where today we have a really cool episode where this is one of those ones where we do something really fun and we haven't prepped in advance, which means I'm sure it's going to be really interesting seeing all of the things that we retrospectively miss on this. Basically, I've got a whiteboard with the numbers 1 to 10 on it. And what we're going to do, I did get all the numbers right, just good to make sure I can count. And we're going to make sure that we come up with a list in the next 30 minutes of the 10 songs that we think anyone who's never heard Japanese music before should hear, must listen songs.
But it's not going to be a rating, right? Just a list of 10 songs.
Just a list of 10. Are we doing a 1 to 10 actual rating?
Oh, no. We're not rating them. We're just picking 10 songs. Oh, God.
Okay. I was going to say I can put the sharpened knives down now.
And that means that we might want to start now.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. All right. So we've had no preparation for this.
No preparation.
A song first of
all? Love Bites, Stand and Deliver. Is
why though?
Okay, why Stand and Deliver?
Why Stand and Deliver? Because it's one of the new songs off the new album. I also think.
But to me, it's kind of a standing out song. You know, it's not like the.
No,
it's
not. It's not their usual style. I just think it's a really. There's a couple of reasons why I wanted to pick this. Is one, I think Asami's pronunciation in English is top notch here compared to some of their other songs. I also think it's a great song for their introduction, for the first song to be with Fami in there.
But wait, how does this introduce them to Japanese music? What about this gives them an introduction into what makes Japanese music special?
I was thinking of this because, well, what makes Love Bite special is because they are Japanese and the way that they write music is incredible. But that's going a bit too much.
That's so generic, man.
That is so generic, but that's going too much in depth. And I look at this and I'm thinking, look, if I'm going to pick somebody who's never heard Japanese music ever before in their life, I've done this loads of fucking times. Every time I try to introduce like a friend who's never heard Japanese music before and I play them something in Japanese, what's the first thing they fucking say? And we all know what it is. Oh, that sounds like an anime song. And I'm sick to death of it. So for me, Love Bites is a really, really good intro to anything into Japanese music because it kind of nudges them there without throwing them in the deep end a little bit too much. So it's a lovely soft intro. And for most of my friends that are into metal, hearing Love Bites for the first time, they can really, really appreciate that as well.
Do we really want to go for the safe songs though? Is that what do you think? Do you think that's a good introduction? Do you think it's different enough?
I see all these points, but I still would pick I would pick Love Bites for all these reasons you just mentioned, but I would pick another song maybe.
Okay, I'm going to put a question mark next to that. We can come back to that one. We can come back to that one. We got to get cooking on this. Right, what do we want next? What sort of things?
Oh, it has to be Baby
Give Me
Metal,
Chocolate by BABYMETAL.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is just turning into a metal list, isn't it? All right, at least BABYMETAL. BABYMETAL I get because that gives people something very different. See, I love Love Bites, but I'm just thinking, is that different enough that you don't want people going, oh, this just sounds like really good Western music? BABYMETAL, give me.
That's why I wouldn't pick Stand and Deliver, because to me that's a song by them that sounds even more like Western.
No, it could do. I was thinking of that one as like an easy way to ease somebody in rather than go for the biggest.
Yeah,
hit.
that's true.
Yeah. Okay. I think. All right. I wish I thought about this a bit more as well. So I think we gotta have. I mean, let's face it, Japanese. We gotta have some pop music. We gotta have something crazy. We gotta have something that introduces people to the weirdness of Japanese pop music. I'm just thinking that should I go for Kyari Pami Pami, but I want to go for something more up to date. I'm going to go for Anno. I'm going to go for the first song on the new album, not the intro song, but the Neko one with the puke. I always forget what it's called because it's all kanji. Neko Pukey song. Neko Pukey. Right, I'm going to call it Neko Pukey.
The puke song.
Yeah, puke song, Neko Pukey. All right, so this is what we got so far. We got 3 songs. I think we should work through the list as quickly as we can because we're going to need some time to deliberate on some of these.
I feel like BAND-MAID has to be on that list for sure.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, I agree.
Are we just doing a quality list here? Or are we? What
no, because I would generally, if I was introducing somebody to Japanese music, like Love Bites, BAND-MAID, these are the bands I would generally show people and be like, oh, how amazing.
Can I just say that's probably why I'd pick BAND-MAID over Love Bites.
Oh, fuck you.
But I think like BAND-MAID for me, it's like it's rock that people be familiar with, but the way it's written is so different from what you get from a lot of Western bands that for me it would be.
The question is what song would you show them?
So you're gonna want something which is gonna be quite different, but at the same time, I mean, I'm kind of, in a way, I'm erring a little bit towards Bubble because it's.
Personally, I would go for Thrill.
But Thrill isn't even written by this. It's too generically like just like here's a rock song. No, it doesn't have the identity that they got after they wrote. It's when they got their identity from making their own music. It's got to be a self-written song. I'm going to go for Bubble, partly because of the fact that she speaks English halfway through, which is kind of slightly like you're like, what are you saying? What? Hey, what? Hey. I'm going to put it in for now. We can deliberate that
personally,
later.
one of my favorites is Onset, but I can't really suggest that because there's no singing
My
in
favorite
it.
is Mirage, but
so basically,
I also think it's not really representation.
I like the fact that like you just tried to get rid of Psyche.
I didn't try to get rid of Psyche. I just personally love Onset so fucking much.
That's all right. That's all right. Psyche fans, get in the chat.
Great.
You heard that. You heard that. All right. All right. And Momoko fans as well. They picked Gimme Chocolate. That's not again. She's not on any. She's only on one of the songs, isn't she? So all right. So what next? I think Bish would be a good one. What about a bit of Bish?
Yeah, bit Bish. I can agree with that.
What do you say? Well, I'm interested about Benedict. You got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I love Bish, but it's not really something I would think of showing, especially to a new Japanese person. Like, what's the aspect of Bish that you would say, this is why I want to show this to someone unfamiliar with Japanese music?
I mean, look, okay, so I think the big question here is how we're approaching the person. So in a way, we could be approaching it as trying to ease them in. I'm trying to just, because let's face it, in reality, every time I try to play Japanese music, they're either really into interesting stuff and they'll just fall into it, or they're just like, oh no, maybe, oh, it's in a different language. Oh, it's in a different language. Yeah, so basically, I'm going for Showcase All the Glory. Therefore, it might not be my favorite song, but I'm going to put forward Non-Tie Up by Bish, just because the whole sound of it's kind of got like a little bit of a classical feel to it, so it's introducing to other sounds, but it's also a bit distorted, it's a bit punky and shouty at the same time. It's kind of got like enough insanity on it. Plus, if they ever find out what the lyrics mean, it's going to cause them. I don't think it's on that one, no. Okay. Just imagine. Yeah, everyone recommended you went for Killer Bish first, which I know is chronological, but
I like that a lot.
It's a good album. It's a good album. It's a good album. Carrot Sticks is the best. All right.
We'll see.
All right. So I've thrown in a couple there. I may be doing too many. All right. So come on, guys. What do you think? Because we're gonna have to start cutting through these later.
I will throw in something, if I may. I would pick Gatcherick's Spin Mindset because I think it's a really amazing song, and I think it would like catch a lot of people's attention, even though maybe if it's not exactly their style of music, but it's just so groovy, so funky, amazing musicianship. So yeah, definitely would pick that.
I wish I got Catchy Catchy Yama in before you could say that, but Mindset
just wrote it down without even asking you, Neon.
Well, no, we're writing them down, but
it's all right. You can tell. Well, if Howard agrees with it, it instantly goes on. If I suggest something, he's got to argue against it.
Excuse me, guys. It's an eraser, and I already said we're spending the end of this editing our choices. And guys, the clock is ticking, so let's not spend too much time discussing.
I'm going to go a little bit more poppy, and I would go Ado. And I can never say the name of the song. All right. So I apologize if I'm completely fucking butchering this. Asiwa.
I'm so glad that you can't say that either. I got so much shit in my comments for saying that wrong.
Yeah, I really struggle to say the name of that song every single goddamn time, but it's really, really popular. I think it's a really, really good intro to her. It's just her more energetic, kind of like fucking crazy side. And I really love that song, to be honest. I'm not too sure if it's a cover actually as well. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm not, but to be fair, it's a cracking song. I do really, really love it.
All right, I think that this should properly get everyone happy. I've spelt it like that.
Fair enough.
What about some Wagakki?
Yeah, WAGAKKI BAND would be good. I'd introduce that.
I think a Wagakki song would be nice.
I think it's probably just easier to go for Zenbon Zakura because almost everyone I play that to likes it. Okay.
Probably not a bad choice when I don't know the names of all the other songs.
So okay, we've got 2 more spaces before we start deciding if we're going to change any. So
Lisa has to be on there.
But why? See, I'm questioning you again.
She's again. I know. Well, yeah, again, fucking Benedict suggests someone, and he's like, "Oh yeah, me." He's like, "Why? But why, Nia?"
Well.
Oh, the tables have turned.
Lisa's just the queen of pop and rock. I think combined. She Fred's. I don't know what's the right term. She's like on the line. So thinly, but you know, she does a lot of good rock stuff, a lot of good pop stuff. Her performances as well. If anybody's ever seen her live, I feel like that's where she really shines. Kind of a bit like BABYMETAL in that sense, where like you listen to the album and it's good, but it's not until you see like them live that you're like, oh, okay, this is like truly special. And I feel like that's the same with Lisa as well. Like her songs are really, really good, but it's her performances. She's a performer when she's live, and that I feel like that's where you get the full appreciation of her. For sure. The hardest part for me is like, I know Lisa needs to be on there, but the hardest thing for me is like, what song would I even suggest?
This is the thing. She's got to have a song where when people listen to it, they're going to be like, See, this thing, like deep down in my heart, I want to say Trident. I've been wanting to say Trident from the beginning of this, but I know full well that Trident fits into that territory where we've got BAND-MAID, we got Love, but I mean, I know these bands are all not the same, but they're all bands who are basically playing in that rock music area. So I'm trying to think of something that really stands out as being like, whoa, what the fuck is that?
Who are Trident again?
I'm going to come all the way back to England just to bitch slap you for talking. Let me introduce you. And yes, the timer is still going, but this is important. This is Trident. Their new, slightly questionably named album is coming out on the 22nd of May.
I still can't believe how well that video is doing, by the way. I'm like, oh God, no, I don't want to even read the comments to that video.
Do check out their live gigs. Follow them on social media. Sorry, shall we get back to the video now? That was a minute.
Yeah, so much for
yeah, we should. Suck up.
I would throw in, I don't know, Neon, you want to choose a song by Lisa because I don't know any?
Oh, I don't know. See, I'm torn. I'm torn between Realize or the Demon Slayer song. Now, I feel like the Demon Slayer one, as long as, again, falling into that category of that sounds like an anime song, which it is.
Wait, she did the Neon Slayer intro?
Yeah, I'd probably say the Demon. Yeah, I'll probably say the Demon Slayer intro.
Probably even know that.
It's really good. You should
just pick that for popularity's sake.
Yeah, if not that, I probably Realize or something like that. But she's got loads of good songs though.
Pick really one Lisa fanboy simp man.
I'd say the Demon Slayer song, which is called. It begins with G, but again, it's another song I can never fucking
pronounce.
Just put Demon Slayer intro.
Slayer.
Grunge or something like that. Something stupid like that.
I don't know.
G. It starts with a G, so I've just written a big letter G in front of it. There we go.
It starts with a G. Yeah.
I want to put in I want something a bit crazy. I feel like
I wanted something too. I would have said Sokuninado.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Because it's just exactly that craziness.
I want to make this list more poppy though. And this is where I'm going to butt up against you two. I don't feel this list is poppy enough. I do feel that there's a lot of poppy stuff in Japan that maybe we could be overlooking. So Sokuninaru or Yabai T-shirt Shiasan. If we put those two up against each other as purveyors of the crazy, I like both bands, but I just think that Yabai offers a little bit more mad.
Sokuninaru is more unique, and therefore I would go for that.
More unique? Ooh.
Yeah, like more un-Western.
No, definitely not that. I mean, I wouldn't agree with that. I'd say that.
Wouldn't you say like Yabai T-shirt is more traditional punk rock?
In some ways, see, the problem is that when I think about Sokuninaru, and by the way, just for anyone knowing, I do really like Sokuninaru, but a lot of their craziness comes from like pedals and stuff, like pedal effects and production effects that are pretty common in the West as well, although they use them much more creatively. Whereas when I think of like yeah, by t-shirts, you're saying it's baked into the bizarreness of the counter between the two vocals, you know, like that high-pitched vocal, you'd never get that in the West. And then the sort of the way that their songs change, I feel they have more changes. Like it's kind of one of those things where like the production, it's not so much the production, but you have like things like brass band will come in the end of one of their songs, or they'll go through, they're just like more of a constant barrage of crazy sounds coming in, which are not just alterations on guitar, but are extra things appearing. So I do think you're right. At the core, they've maybe got more of a familiar punk sound, but I just feel like their arrangement, their whole end product is something which would be much less likely to hear in the West, is my feeling.
I got 3 recommendations, and 2 of them
Okay.
Howard's gonna absolutely fucking hate.
All right, we got some room. Let's start writing them down. So
Broken with Scream.
by the way, are you going to vote on this Yabai versus Sokoninaru thing, Leon?
Oh, probably not. No, I'm gonna stay neutral.
All right, so we got Yabai. All right, what are the songs you want to add?
Well, for bands, for me, a couple of other bands. I got 3 acts. 2 of them, I'll get the 2 nasty ones out the way. And then we'll end with hopefully one I think we can all kind of agree on, maybe.
We're on the clock, Leon.
I know the first one is the band that should not be named. I know fucking Howard fucking hates them, but
okay, I'm gonna write that one over here on the special board. Oh look.
But
they've got a board all to themselves.
I wouldn't be taking this job seriously if I didn't say that they wouldn't be one of the first bands you'd introduce somebody to, because I think they are energetic, creative. They are, as much as I know I'm not allowed to say maximum the hormone or on the channel, like at all.
Oh, sorry, you cut out for a second. Anyway, they've got their own special board over there. Shall we continue talking about music? Right, so
again. I feel like I have to say them. They would definitely be.
They know what they did. They know what they did.
The second band, which I know Howard's gonna hate, which I would recommend is Atarashi Gakko introducing. And the third act I would have is Yoasobi. And I feel like that's a good intro point for a lot of people as well. Really popular.
These are good suggestions. Yeah, really good suggestions. I mean, Atarashi Gakko, see, I really liked. No, I really do like a lot of things about Atarashi Gakko. I think this sometimes get lost, is that I have actually, really was into their music, but I feel like they've kind of gone into this area recently where, and I'm not just sort of like shitting on them for being popular, because it's fine. I mean, do what works for you. And if it's working, then more power to them. I just feel like a lot of the identity of their music has been lost to the identity of the image. And it's all like it's all the image now. So
I must admit, I wasn't too concerned until I heard some of their latest songs, and I thought some of the latest songs were good, but they weren't great. And I have noticed the last couple have been a bit lukewarm, and I'm starting to worry a little bit now that they are falling down that trap of the music's taking a bit of a hit for the image.
For me, Tokyo Calling really did sort of like was a wake up alarm call.
I still love Tokyo Calling. I like Tokyo Calling. It's the other songs after that I'm not too keen on.
We didn't mention HANABIE or HANABIE or whatever the hell. They would be a really good introduction. Oh, no, bands like that. See, this is what I mean. Like bands like that, I'm like, yeah, that's something you just wouldn't get that in the West. All right, we got a problem here.
True.
We got a problem here. This list is like blowing up like crazy. So the thing is, we're going to get a lot of hate for people who be like, I can't believe you didn't include. How did you question that band? It's like, this is our thinking of what we think will really introduce people. It's not what we think is best, okay? Because we're about to delete some shit off this
like
list.
Neil mentioned before, it really depends on the person who you.
Yeah, it depends on who you're trying to introduce it, whether or not they're completely unknown or they like music or they're into it, the genre, what they like. There's so many different factors.
All right, so it's worth pointing out now that we've got 11 minutes to sort out this list. All right, so let's have a little look, guys. So I can take the question mark out there because pretty much everything is under question now. So what do we feel like could be, what do we feel like achieves the same purpose? Are there any two songs that we feel achieve the same purpose on this list?
Would say Your Sobi is kind of in the same way like Ardo, right?
Ooh, I was going to say Lisa, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go more towards Lisa. It totally depends. There's a lot of artists there, I think, that could probably clash a little bit, but that's the good thing. I mean, even I'm looking at that list, and I think that each and every single one we've got on there already is quite individualistic. They are quite varied.
But looking at this, I really agree with Howard. We should put in some Hanabi because this is not heavy enough.
Yeah, that's not what I said.
That's what I said.
See, if we're going for heavy, then I'd like some Brunuka in there.
I love how Benedict's like, Howard was right. This isn't heavy enough. Excuse me.
Yeah, if we're doing a top 10 like heavy list of introducing the people, we'll have Unlucky Morpheus on there, please. You know, put some HANABIE.
Oh God, yeah. Ooh. All right. So what are we going to take out to make room for HANABIE then? What could leave?
Again, it's really weird because it really depends on who you're trying to introduce to this music. Because I could take something off like Bish and put Unlucky Morpheus, which for me personally would be totally fine. But for other people,
I would have to agree with that.
So 2 votes for Bish coming off.
Yeah, but again, that's
all right.
Yes.
Okay,
but that's just because of my personal. This is what makes it so hard. Because...
Someone has to be brave.
So I mean, this list just needs like Fuki. I could be like a total dick and say, can we put Doll's Box on there as well?
Yeah, that would be
we'll
kind
just make a list of Fuki bands.
We've already got Gatrick Spin. Suck a dick. Right.
Yeah,
so
we could change Gatrick Spin to Dollbox, and then we have both in one.
No.
With a smart thing, you know. Smart.
Are you? Remember, it's 2 against 1. So if you want to do that, I can't stop you, but I will.
Okay, Neon. What else do we need off this list?
I don't know. I need to see the list again.
Wait, I'm writing HANABIE. Which HANABIE song do we put in there? I'm assuming like something like "Pardon Me" or "Give Me We Love Sweet" or whatever it is. Give Me Sweet.
Yeah, I probably agree with We Love Sweets. To be fair,
I think We Love Sweets. Yeah.
Sweeties.
I do like some sweets.
All right. What else needs to go or be changed?
Yeah, I'll take Yosobi off. As much as I like that, I'd much rather have Lisa on that list than probably you. But that's just my own personal opinion. I can already feel the comment section coming out with the pitchforks.
It's all subjective, guys.
Yeah, this is going to be like the most disliked video we've ever posted. So I should not have said anything when Love Bite so.
But that's just the thing.
But this is the thing. If I question them, I know that's not going to go down well.
Yeah, like if we all made like separate lists, our 3 separate lists for like bands we'd introduce to people would all be so completely fucking different. And we try to hit like
that next time.
I would still make the argument to choose another Love Bite song because I still think Stand and Deliver is just not, great song, but just
we got
not
7 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
We got 7 minutes.
We can change Stand and Deliver. Which one would you have instead of Stand and Deliver?
Would rather choose something like Holy War or Judgment Day. Maybe I think
Judgment Day is
better representation
glory,
overall
glory,
sound.
Glory
to the world.
Yeah. All right, we'll go for Glory then.
Good. Yes,
I'm down with that too.
We took out the orchestral qualities of Bish, so we might as well have something with a little bit of a classical shine to it.
Maybe something else I'd like to add to the list. Just again, maybe a little bit subjective.
Okay.
Asterism, just for an instrumental band, because that's something we don't have on the list.
I don't think we need an instrumental band. There's instrumental bands all over the world.
But is there an instrumental band as good as Asterism?
Do we have the time for the
or Takeyoshi Amora? Like I can't have not a list without not having Amora on.
Too late. You can have him playing in Give Me Chocolate. All right. Anyway. All right. So what we're still too overweight.
I would erase everything on number 10 and put Unlucky Morpheus there.
You know what? I can't even disagree with that as well. I'd fucking do that.
Speak your
So,
mind,
Sokuminaru, I love Unlucky Morpheus, but oh, come on.
I mean, I can agree with Sokuninaro too.
We don't have enough crazy on here. This list is way, way, way too tame.
I know.
I want some bands who sound like, I want the sort of bands where you play with people and they go, what the fuck is happening?
What OK Rock?
All right.
You already have Gimme Chocolate.
Yeah, okay. For me, okay, I guess this is where it comes down to personal thing. For me, it would be a total list of batshit crazy all the way through. So I'd be like, it'd be like HANABIE, it'd be like, I mean, funny thing is, I went for a relatively stable BAND-MAID song, but it's because when I think of BAND-MAID, for me, they're like the easy access one band. They're the band I want where people just going, like I say, I was thinking of Trident, but I was like, what's a band proven? I want an easy access band.
We have got quite a good mix here though, because we've got Anno, Ado, Lisa with like the poppy stuff. You've got obviously your like Love Bites on Morpheus and stuff like that. Where you're like metal, you've got your rock in BAND-MAID. HANABIE maybe could class on that one. I'd probably class more HANABIE more as metal.
Yeah, HANABIE and Get Shook Spin like a bit in the middle, and like WAGAKKI Band a bit more.
Well, yeah, but I like WAGAKKI Band. That's like more of a. I completely lost for words at the minute. More of like a traditional band, yeah, and I like that. Yeah. That has a different sound to it, completely.
All right, so would we change any of the songs? Any of the songs we don't think are?
I don't know. I kind of agree with Gimme Chocolate. I think Gimme Chocolate's pretty all right. Although personally, I would love to have like a Black Babymetal song instead of Gimme Chocolate.
I think Gimme Chocolate is such a good option for me because it's catchy, but it also involves all three members.
Yeah,
so like you really get
so overdone though. Gimme Chocolate,
and it has the what the fuck effect that Howard was talking about.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Actually,
I agree.
I look at it, I'm starting to agree with you guys. Actually, the more I look at this, I've got to be honest. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Lisa, as much as I love Lisa, I get the feeling that Lisa sounds too much like a standard pop artist, which is maybe why I personally would maybe swap her with a Chiari Pammy Pammy, something a little bit more insane. But yeah, I get it. Unlucky Morpheus. Oh, we haven't got a song for Unlucky Morpheus. What are they singing?
Oh, true.
Black Pentagram for me.
Yeah, I'm down. That's an awesome song.
That is an awesome song.
I think
plus it sounds.
Song gets the feeling across, doesn't it? So we got all right. How long have we got? We got 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So Love Bites. Yeah, basically, I think Love Bites is one of those ones where when people hear it, they'll be like, yeah, we've heard metal before, but it's like metal done better. Better vocals,
the way that it's written,
solos.
The way that Love Bites is written, like in the more kind of classical vein as well. Like there's metal bands, there's loads of metal bands like Love Bites, but there's no metal bands that can do and write a song like Love Bites can write a song,
So are we happy with this list? Any changes?
I'm still a bit 50-50 on Bubble with BAND-MAID. I'm gonna admit, but we got to give Howard something. So
it's got to be a self-written song. I mean, I'm willing to take the discussion on it, but it's like the songs they wrote themselves have the identity, which I think is what makes them them. I mean, I was actually thinking maybe something like Screaming, but then I thought Screaming it's crazy, but in a kind of way where I think other Western bands have done that sort of thing where it's like really hectic and fast. For me, Bubble's very complete. It goes through like lighter, louder. It has a good variation, but
okay, I can agree with that. I suppose.
Again, when you're talking
I was also thinking of like the ultra crazy ones like Black Hole or something, but I think Bubble is quite a nice mix.
I think the reason why with BAND-MAID, I'm just going for my favorite BAND-MAID song is because of the fact that, like I say, BAND-MAID for me, that's the band which is in the easy access territory. That's the one where I can imagine anyone liking them. So rather than me going, oh, crazy band, go for a crazy song, it's like, well, this is a band who I think anyone could like. So just go for the song that I think is best. So maybe that's I got a minute and 11 seconds on it, but I think we've actually finished this.
Yeah, I think that's quite a good all-rounded thing. Again, it's not my personal list. It's not like, I don't think that it's what all three of us would preferably do, but I think it's a good mix between all three of what we like, kind of.
I got to be honest. I think I was complaining when I first saw some of the things on there, like, oh, I'd talk about this. But the more I look at it, this is actually a pretty good list. This is actually pretty good.
I think it ticks a lot of boxes. I think it's very varied, and I think if we played that list to quite a few people, I think there'd be a little something on there that somebody would like. Might not like everything, but I think it will touch on something that would pique your interest.
All right, so just as this
interesting enough for them to like want to hear more.
As this runs out, I think what we'll do, we'll let this finish because obviously there's going to be a lot of people in the comments. But I think we can see we've got about 8 minutes left on the on our version of Zoom. So what we're going to do is we're going to just quickly go through and I think just give like a quick overview each of roughly how we feel about the list. I think that might be a nice idea. We've got 8 minutes left. Just quickly each couple of minutes, say what we think. There we go. Because I think actually the one thing is I'm quite surprised. I do actually think we all kind of agree on this. So who wants to go first and just give a basic overview of what they think of this?
I think the more I look at it, the more I think it's pretty varied. It's pretty all right. Again, I don't think it's any of our personal wish lists. I think probably Howard got shafted a little bit more on this list.
I got to be honest. I'm happier than I think maybe I felt like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, I feel like me and Benedict leaning more towards a metal persuasion probably is definitely contributed to the outcome of this list. But I mean, like I said, we still got Anno on there, HANABIE, Gatric Spin, Addo, WAGAKKI Band. Yeah, I mean, I think
anything you personally really want to change yourself. If there was something where you were like, if I was doing this, I would definitely throw this in or change that.
Again, going back to what I said before, Maximum the Hormone would be one I would have in there just because of the craziness. I know, obviously.
But they're on the special list.
They're on the band list.
We go with the garbage right after the video.
Yeah, you know, personal things for me would be like things like Takayoshi Amora, Atarashi Gakko. I think for me would be a must. I would also, I know this is like a bit of a weird one, but I would also lean into like Sakura Gakuin as well. I'd like to introduce people to that and the subunits like Mini Patty and stuff like that. Although maybe not considered a band. I just like the story with that and the whole environment. It's very, very touching and uplifting. If you can't get somebody into the band and the music itself, you can at least get somebody into like you know, watching the girls and becoming emotionally attached as well. So I would lean maybe towards that persuasion as well a little bit, but generally I'm quite happy with that. You know,
Benedict, any thoughts?
Yeah, I would agree. I'm also quite happy with the list. It's pretty diverse. I'm not sure if I would actually really want to change something on here. Like, not my private favorite list also, but I think we have a lot of, I don't know, songs I think people would expect, like Gimme Chocolate or We Love Sweets or Mindset. I think some of those
it's interesting
songs,
how you say that people
or like
would
at least the
expect.
groups, things people would expect. Yeah,
because the irony is, of course, it's what people would expect us to play to someone who doesn't expect anything. I mean,
maybe my one irritating thing for the whole entire list is the fact that we don't have any male bands on there. Maybe a little bit that irks me. So maybe I personally would have it later. Maybe
Yabai T-shirts Yasan was
like, it's not on purpose
there, and so was Soko Ninaru. Both Yabai and Soko Ninaru were on there, but of course they were removed for the glory that is. But none of them sing. Actually, no, they do. The guy sings, doesn't he? I'm sorry.
Does, yeah.
I mean, I would say this. So with Love Bites, I mean, like I say, Love Bites would not be the band I'd immediately go for like convincing an overseas person. But I do actually, now I come to think about it, I do see that if it's someone who just wants to be convinced, look, Japanese bands can do what you're familiar with, but it's just better when they do it. Love Bites is a good band to go for because I don't think anything about their genre is at all different from like Western. In fact, they talk a lot about old school metal, but they just do it better. So
I think you've got to take into consideration as well, like how open the person is you're trying to convince. Like if they're like very, very like, I don't really want to listen to it, but you're come on, you gotta listen to it. Like,
I'm trying to be a little bit frivolous about that because obviously, if we were actually honest about it, there's no list that's going to work. Yeah, I have to tailor it very much for the person. But
Yeah.
we just this is our ego list. But Give Me Chocolate, I think, is undeniable.
Like, personally, I would go for like a lot of more batshit crazy stuff, like
I would agree, but
Lady Baby or things like that.
I don't know about because I think Lady Baby, yeah, maybe.
I
but
was
like,
thinking about Nippon Manju and songs like Nippon Manju and like the really over the top crazy ones where you're like listening to it and it's just like I've never heard something like this.
I mean, there's a lot of classic bands.
For me, Nippon Manju doesn't do that. Nippon Manju doesn't like go, I've never heard this before. It's more the visual aspect that does that. But so I just wanted to quickly add, I mean,
but do you really think that would be the same for someone who's absolutely unfamiliar with Japanese music?
No, but I think there would be better bands for doing that, and that's kind of the thing that I kind of wanted to sort of cover here. Is that if I wanted to do, because like for me, Lady Baby were at their best when they were the four member lineup, and when they were kind of doing something which wasn't so out there, but they were really good at doing it. But there are like bands.
Not for me.
Yeah, I know, not for you, but for me. But this is why, like, for the crazy stuff, I'd probably lean to, like, for example, Gatrick Spin. I know Mindset is a really good introduction song, but I would want to play something a little bit more Gatrick Spin, being Gatrick Spin crazy. I think Kachi Kachiyama, like I say, is them really coming together at their sort of highlight of their point. I also think that, again, just to cover that, this is one thing I wanted to quickly say. We don't have, after we took off Bish, we don't have any, like, well, Baby Metal being the exception, we don't have any groups, we don't have any groups where it's like, and I know a lot of people say, well, we don't need them, and I agree, but I think that having something like that on there would be really strong. I would want to get something in there like a pop group, and get our girls Dad Adams in there, get a Wasta in there, get something which is like, I mean, that's less crazy, but something where it's like you're hearing because the pop music, the normal pop music here is so weird that I would go for that. But then again, that might go back to what Benedict was saying about Lady Bird. I just don't think Nippon Banjo is a very good song, actually. I think it's fun, it's interesting, but it's kind of like, oh my God, that's crazy.
I didn't put it on the list, but on my personal list, I would absolutely put it.
Yeah.
Batshit crazy list.
Yeah, I'd be interested to do that. Yeah, I'd be interested to know what everybody's lists are. I want to see 10 artists down in the comments. We can go through them and share the list. This will be really, really good, I think, for a follow-up video where maybe we can look at some of the comments and see everybody's lists, and we can talk about it in a part 2 video of this. Any bands and artists to know that we may have missed.
Yeah. We could do that. We could do that. We could go through other people's lists, and every time we find a song that 2 or more of us agree on, then we give it a tick, or otherwise we remove it, and then we see who's got the best list. Maybe.
Yeah. We'll do a comment section list, top 10 of the comments that we missed.
All right. So we got a couple of minutes left. Yeah, I think it's great. I'm really adult, interesting voice. HANABIE is such an interesting band. BAND-MAID Love Bite's great way to get in. Baby Metal, legendary. Ano, crazy. WAGAKKI Band, traditional. I'm still not sure about the Lisa one, but I love Lisa. But okay, easy way into Japanese pop.
I feel like Lisa's
Unlucky
more,
Morpheus or Unlucky Morpheus.
Yeah, Unlucky Morpheus or Unlucky Morpheus. I feel like Lisa's more of a performance thing. I know a lot of these things are like the craziness and stuff like that. I feel Lisa is more kind of like Baby Metal in that sense, where you're gonna need to go and see her live stuff and her performances and stuff, because she just pours so much like emotion and energy into her live performances. I can't not have her on the list. I'm sorry.
I know. I well, you've got your 2 beloved ladies down at the bottom of the list, keeping you safe. So they'll be kept there for your heart. And of course, your mower is up there as well. So don't worry, Benedict, you're safe as well.
Maybe it is a rating.
Anyway, yeah, this is cool. And I managed to get Ano on there as well.
All right, so it would be interesting if we could do something like this, but like maybe do it in genres as well. Like I know we did a lot of metal, but we could do like a pop top 10 or something like that. Something that takes us a little bit out of our comfort zone. Yeah.
Let us know if you want us to do that. We've got 30 seconds left though, so I'm gonna start erasing this, and I'll say to everyone, remember to keep your you do it, Neon.
Oh, remember to keep your ears to my ears.
This is broken.
Pause.